So we ended out 2019. It looks really well. So that brings us into 2020. What are you guys' goals? Do you guys have any right now, or is it too early to tell? But if you have any, I'd love to know. I mean, everyone would.
I mean, one of my goals is to obviously this isn't content creation related, but to go full time for my job. So I'm really working towards that. Another one of my goals is to actually go to college, start college at some point this year. I'm figuring out. I'm in the final phases of figuring out what I want to go to school for. So focusing on that. I want to get back into content creation in some shape, way, or form, on my own side of things. At some point this year, I'd like to get back to it. So that's a goal of mine. And I mean, if it's not obvious, this podcast, I have a goal for this podcast. My goal is to keep it going and just stay lit and on the course that we're on right now, because this is like my highlight of the week. So yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. So I guess since I opened my mouth already, I guess I'll go ahead and jump in on this ish. So one of the biggest goals that I have right now is not playing around in terms of nonsense, because like that's one of the things that was killing me in 2019, and back then I had so many regrets due to me trying to be extra patient, and people take advantage of that. And then not only that, sometimes being extra patient turns into a huge mistake. And when I get frustrated, and we all been through this, where you always try to be patient and then it doesn't go the way it's planned, and then you get this frustration and it's harder to make rational decisions. And that's one of the things that I want to X out. Like some things I'm just gonna have to put the hammer down and not wait, because hesitation or worrying about possible repercussions is just gonna create more problems. So that's like my biggest goal for 2020, and I've been sticking to that, and things has been so much better since then. I would say another goal for 2020 that I have in mind would be to keep myself on track with controlling my health. There's a lot of things. Of course, I already talked about the managing my weight and all that all last year. That's something that I want to continue doing. But since, since the reality is that I have a family history of prostate cancer, a lot of people in my fam that actually died to that, so that's something that I'm gonna have to keep an eye on and make sure that I make sure I don't have it. Of course, I'm not saying that I have it, but it's important to get checked out. And for all the males in there, don't sit on that, especially if you're beyond the age of 30. Do not sit on that, because when you do and you wait too long, then it gets to the point that it's completely irreversible, because once it spreads, and there's not much you could do at that point. The only thing you can do is just hang on and just hope that a miracle happens, and you don't want to put yourself in that situation. Just like how also I have to, keep getting my eyes checked, because there's glaucoma in one eye. It's not bad or anything, but the eye doctor told me to get it checked. So I'll look into that. He said it was nothing serious. So it's like, you just got to take care of your health, because no one's going to do that but you. You have to do that. So I guess those is the major things. And I guess the last thing would be keeping the positive vibes and just trying to make the best of every situation. So that's about it for me.
I'm gonna go next. In the whole perspective, as far as it's like what I expect myself from 2020 or my goals, it's just really just not boggle myself down with many expectations this year, because I felt like going into 2019, I mean, it's good to have a positive mindset, no doubt about that, but I felt like I put a lot of strain in myself as far as like getting towards expectations that, you know, they probably either took a step back or whatnot, and trying to reach those expectations. I put too much strain on that, and if I didn't, you know, reach those expectations or milestones that I was trying to reach, I got myself demotivated. And I think I reevaluated that over the year, and then I just now come to a realization. It's just like I'm gonna go into 2020 this year just mainly, you know, still keeping a positive mindset within everything, but just not putting too much emphasis on the expectations part of it, and, you know, just putting my best foot forward and seeing how far I can go with that, and putting, you know, the best foot forward with anything that I do, whether it's with IRL stuff and trying to get a job and get, you know, my career started, or get back into streaming and seeing how far this podcast would go. Just mainly, you know, keeping a positive mindset and doing the best I can and putting my best foot forward, just not putting too much strain on expectations and, you know, getting myself down the dumps when something doesn't go my way.
Gotcha.
What about Fez, you got any goals?
Oh yeah, I got the ultimate goal. All right. My 2020 goal straight up is buying a house. Okay.
Oh,
man, going big with it.
That's like the biggest goal you can have.
Yeah, that is my biggest goal. By this time next year, or by October of this year sometime, I'll be in a house. So I mean, I'd rather have that goal. I mean, I'm set out for that. No matter how my career does, I'm set out for that regardless of how anything goes. You know, so
that's some major stuff right there, dog. For real.
Yeah, because I already know that. I mean, everything that's going to be coming in with the house, all the extra stuff. I'm going to be doing renovations and stuff. So, man, I'm going to have my own room. So, yeah. yeah. So all this, what do you call this? You call this what? The war zone or whatever? The battle station?
Battle stations.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's what you be calling it, a battle station. Straight up.
Battle
you know what I'm saying? So
drop them torpedoes.
Yeah. I mean, at least
then it'll be like them guile flash.
Them booms. Booms.
And then I'll get my green screen back. Green screen. My green screen. Yeah, green screen Roshi.
With the green screen.
Oh, we're getting Roshi already in the stream. What podcast?
Yeah.
We're going green.
No, there's a story on that, okay? But it comes from PAX, all right? My friend, all right, a Deadfly, was playing Fortnite, okay? And all he had to do was win one match, okay? Just one match. He tried for 3 days, okay? In the very last game that he was doing, he won it. I was like, all right, green screen.
Freaking dope.
What about you, Dennis?
The biggest one, I talked about in the last podcast for 2019. Overthinking was like one of the biggest things I hated in 2019. 2020, I obviously don't want to overthink anymore. That's gonna be tough, but I feel overthinking has like hurt me mentally as a person.
I definitely feel that.
To make me feel like I'm a fucking psycho. So I have to fix that. Because overthinking is like one of the worst things.
You got
it
gray
can be
hair.
like the smallest thing too.
Right.
Like if you don't talk to someone for a while, then you kind of think back and like you guys don't interact. You're like, oh wait, does this person hate me? You know, stuff like that. So, you know, that shit's been haunting me for like 2019, all over. But then you kind of rekindle those friendships, and they're like, oh no, you never did anything wrong. If anything, you're the coolest guy. I wish I talked to you more. I usually get answers like that. So you just think of something else. So I want to throw overthinking of 2019. I don't want it. I want that gone for 2020. And then my last goal is continually stream full time. I've been doing it last year full time. I hope to continue doing streaming full time this year too. So, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
add that overthinking aspect in there too, because I do that way too often. I overlook it.
Overthinking just stresses, yeah, and like I think my mind is just like broken every time like overthinking happens. Like I just feel like stressed and overwhelmed to the point that it just seems like I'm overworking when I didn't do anything. I was just overthinking, and then that like obviously hinders my performance for many things.
Right.
So that's
I
one of the
feel
things
that.
that just-
Because Dr. Kasam, you know, rest in peace, man. Like, really awesome doctor that I grew up with when I was a kid. You know, he always told my family that, you know, stress is that silent killer, no matter how minor it is. And like, just by sitting down overthinking, you know, that just adds on to stress. I mean, I know I've been stressing like crazy, and I remember one time I stressed to the point I got a headache, and like I feel you on that, Dino. So it's like I try to tell myself less stress, less mess, because like it really does kill you. Like I know family members that they got so upset that they with whatever happened, they literally had a mental shutdown. They just like right there, and I'm like, oh my god, like yeah, we have to watch that. We all have to watch that. I don't care if it's something as minor as doing your favorite hobby, that thing that gives you some kind of calm. Do it. I don't care what it is. If it's going to the boat, go to the boat. You know, just do what you gotta do.